Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Kimchi for Breakfast that, as you already know, it serves as an hearty plate of inspiration, insights and exploration into the diverse tapestry of human existence. So I'm Marisa, I will be your host in this journey, and today we are joined by Anna. Anna is a cheerful Korean woman who married a Korean man, and both are doing a magnificent job raising two wonderful children here in Korea. Anna radiates joy and happiness. She is a proud advocate of Korean culture, always ready to share its richness with others and always ready to help others. Let's dive into her story of love, family, and embracing new beginnings. Welcome, Anna.
Hi.
Welcome to the podcast, and thank you so much for receiving us in your home, in your place, and share your experience with us.
Yes, thank you for having me too. My name is Hannah Cho, but she called me like Anna, but here in Korea we pronounce like a Hanna, but in American way, call me like Hannah. So I was born and raised in Korea, of course South Korea, and when I was 26 years old, like it was about 15 years ago, I immigrated to the US, and then I have lived there about like 13 years, and I came back here about 2.5 years ago, and I'm really enjoying life in Korea again.
Living abroad often come with a lot of challenge. Do you remember any situation where that you or your family face while adjusting the new life in US that could represent a challenge for you?
Actually, I could remember that the first time when I moved to US, it was really challenging. Everything was challenging because of the language, because I couldn't speak the English that well. So every time when I go to like supermarket or when I go to airport and anywhere, I can speak, but I cannot pick up the what they're saying, because they know I'm like Asian, but there are so many Asian American, so they thought that I can understand fully, so they speak so fast, so I can't catch up every single word. So it was so hard for me to to communicate with the people there. I can say I just survive by myself. So I started to understand more and then communicate with the people more easily. So things gets better.
Your kids, they born in
US.
US. And what about them?
They actually, I have two boys, and they born and raised in the US, and of course they speak English, no problem. But we have our house rule. We only speak Korean at home, because I know many of I can say like most of the Korean American family who lives in the US, they know they can speak English perfectly, but later they forget speaking Korean. So there's a quite the issues between the parents and the kids when they grow up. So I knew that issue. So I want to keep our household as like we only speak Korean at home. So actually my kids are really good at English, both English and Korean. They don't have any problems. So they feel comfortable, speaking Korean. But now their old friends in US, they almost every friends, they don't speak Korean, which is really sad thing for me.
Yeah. I understand. We do the same. We speak Portuguese in home. Before I start to speak English a little bit in home, for her to know the basic routines in English, so to add more vocabulary. But now she is the one that is pushing English in home. But in US, mainly the Pacific Coast, there is a huge Korean community.
Yes,
Since
it is.
convenience stores until Silicon Valley companies, you can find Koreans everywhere. I'm curious, Have you interact with this community? Have you been part of this community, or your life was completely apart?
Of course, I'm really deep into the Korean community in U.S. Most of my friends, of course, there are still the Korean. I have, of course, the friends from the all different country and all different culture, but I still have many Korean friends there because I'm a Christian, so I go to the Korean church there. So actually, I can't say most, but I believe most of the Korean community start from the Korean church in the U.S. So we have such a big Korean church community. So we have small groups and big groups and all the different groups. So in age and guys and the females and boys and girls. So all the different Korean communities start from the Korean church. We share the information, and then we share some foods, and then when we have the holiday like a 설날 or Chuseok, we celebrate together. So it really good. It really great for the kids too.
Yeah.
They can also learn the Korean heritage from that group.
Exactly, I totally agree. Korea changed a lot.
Yes,
In the
it is.
meantime,
It is.
how was it growing for you in the old Korea? Let's say.
Times I think in my age, if we want to speak English, we have to go abroad. I mean, study abroad and go to college or take the ESL, or that's the best way we can learn the English or any other languages. But now I feel like in Korea now most of young people, young kids, they can speak English very well. Of course, education in Korea, it has been always important. From my age, I studied a lot from the junior school, like high school. But here, then naturally they learn the English and other languages and cultures from very young generation. I was amazed that most of the young people, they speak foreign languages very well. Even though they don't go out, they don't go abroad, they can speak. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. And what about the infrastructures here? Are you from Seoul?
I'm from
Out of-
Daegu, yeah, which is I can say like third biggest city in Korea.
And what about these infrastructures here in Seoul or in your city? When compared with your times, when you were a student, now the technology is everywhere. My daughter barely believed that I didn't have a phone when I was a kid, or
yes.
that the internet was connected to the wall. She cannot even understand what I'm speaking about. How was Korea? Because I don't know that Korea. How was Korea 20 years in the past or 30 years in the past? How was it?
Yes, technology develops like so fast. Actually, I started to have a phone when I was a high school student.
Yeah, it was like me.
Yeah, yes, yeah, like you. But now my kids have the cell phones, but they don't use the internet, or they don't watch like YouTube from their phone. It's only for the phone and call and text, just the basic function. I only let them to use the basic function, but I can see the most of the kids, they have their own the phones and iPad, and it is also important for their education. The school actually requires the kids to bring their own the iPad to do their own work. So
Your older kid already needs to take the iPad with
yes.
you. School push them to use to do research and look for subjects. In my times, we need to go to the library.
Yes,
just the
exactly.
time to look for the correct book.
Yeah.
It was like an eternity. And now you can just type and everything comes.
then, yes,
it's so easy, so fast. When you live with your parents in your childhood, What do you used to do together as a family?
Yeah, when I was little, as I told you, I have lived in Daegu. So Daegu is like between Seoul and Busan, but it is more close to Busan. Only like less than 2 hours drive to Busan. So we are all of my family. We love Busan because Daegu doesn't have the ocean, but in the only the 1.5 or the 2 hours drive there is a the beach.
I love Busan.
Yeah, I love Busan. So there is many good seafoods and kind of sushi. We call that hue. So we often go to the Busan. We drive there, and then there is one hotel we really like. It is called like a Paradise Hotel. They're still there. Yeah, so still there. They renovated, still there. But we always stay in the Paradise Hotel, and then we had the good food there, good seafood there, and there is a outdoor pool and also kind of jacuzzi, like a hot spring. We call like a oncheon. So during the winter time or doesn't matter what kind of the weather. So we enjoy the the hot spring the outside, and then I really like that time.
Yeah.
And then we also go camping to the mountain. So nowadays I can see the Korean camping is not camping, not real camping.
You take everything with you.
Of course, Korean now is like more like glamping, not the camping. But back then, so we bring everything from little single thing. So my dad built a tent, and then my mom brought everything like a little burners and then to cook and yes, and then my brother and me and just have fun, and the play with the bowls, and we ride the bikes, and we really enjoy our time in the nature, and also in the city like Busan. So both we enjoyed both way.
Really nice. Yeah, it's interesting to know that even separate by 10,000 kilometers, Portugal and Korea, our childhood was not so different. I spent a lot of time in nature too, and with my grandparents because they have a huge farm. And with my family, my sister, we play a lot outside also. Yeah, and we have the sea very close. This is something that I miss a lot. So. But still speaking about education, one very controversial topic is the academies after school.
Hagwons.
So for the ones that never heard this word, we are speaking about academies. We also have this in Europe and US, but we are not using so often. Hagwons are academies where kids go after school to do homework and to continue to study and to skip doubts and so on. Some years ago, government kind of limit the opening hours of this kind of service to maintain the students' mental health in a safe level, for them to not get really tired. But there are still 80,000 academies like this in all over Korea. They are all of them very busy, doing a lot of business, and 70% of the students attend. Are your kids going to these academies?
Yes, my kids, both of my kids, of course, going to Hagwon.
My question is, do you really think that they need, or you are going by because society assume that this is the normal behavior and they should go?
I think that really depends on the people, but they used to go to, not exactly Hagwon, they used to take some lessons when they were in the US too. So I kept continuing, letting them go. So I think for me, like they need to go. So
they need to go to fulfill the level that you expect that they become in the school. They need these extra hours. So school is not enough.
For me, like some part of the academic, academic one, so it is enough. But some are not. So, but there are so many kinds of hagwon. It's not just for the academic one, but there is like a piano hagwon, or there is like a art studio, or there's a soccer, there are coding, and yeah, when they cannot get the enough, the age from the school, they go to hagwon, I think.
How long they spend per week?
For week, I can say they pretty busy. So they go to one hagwon every day, like from Monday to Friday.
Every day?
Yeah, every day.
But they are not doing extra activities in school. They finish always at normal standard time.
Oh no, they take some
ECA,
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah. My kids, both of my kids in the swim squad, so they take the swimming, lesson, and also the Noah, my little one, has a soccer, the ECA, and my older one Noah has MUN and basketball, the ECA. They take some fun ECA.
And after that?
After that,
oh my God, they get so tired.
Yeah, they
That's
can
so
manage
little.
that, but I limit their bedtime. Like they go to sleep like at 9 p.m. at the latest, because I know that they have to sleep at least 10 hours. So I keep that, my time, their sleep time. So then, so during the weekends, they don't
Have any activity?
just the soccer and swimming and fun sports, and then just a play day. Then they go to birthday party, or they just sleep over in their friend's house. They have fun time.
Sleep habits, it's something that Kimchi for Breakfast project cares, because it's based or rooted in health. Once here in Korea, one businessman that I met, he told me, here in Korea, it's not like in Europe. In Korea, if you sleep more than 5 hours, this means that you will never be successful.
No.
What are your thoughts about
No,
that?
I don't think so. That's not true. That's totally not true. Because
And in your childhood, it was like this?
if I sleep like 5 hours, I was already dead. I think that guy is talking about the teenage. If they want to go to the colleges in Korea, it is really competitive. So so I also study a lot. 13th grade, like when I was like a 고3, I study a lot, because I only have when I was the senior in the high school, my last year in the high school, I had to study a lot to pass the test to go to the college, of course. So I went to bed like 2 a.m. and I had to wake up like 7 in the morning, something like that. Yeah, I remember.
You did it, 5 hours.
5 hours. But for me, like only for that 1 year, for the last year of the high school, to pass the test. But except the specific time, no, I don't think the most of the kids study like that. But I can't say everyone, because everyone is different.
Of course.
Yeah, I think most, but I can still hear that many of the high school students, they study a lot.
In Europe, is exactly the opposite. My mom always concerned, even during all my age, even in the university, she always, you need to cut in the other things, not in sleep. You maintain the sleep, you maintain the meals, and you maintain the study time, but you need to cut in the TV and in all other times. If you really study hard, you really need to rest. And
Yes, balance.
So, yeah. Also, not just living abroad represents a challenge for us, but also life in Seoul is also very, very challenging. What do you find more challenging for a Korean living in Seoul?
I love everything here, because this is my country, and I have friends and family and every language and the culture. Everything's so convenient for me. So except one thing, because I love everything here in Seoul, except the one thing is the air pollution. is so bad, especially for the spring season. The winds just blows from the west side, so there's so many dust and the micro dust and the smoke, and the air pollution is so bad. So I can't really breathe in the healthy way, and then my kids too. So they easily can get the allergy or reaction, or can get the cough, or yeah. So it is really hard for me to living in Seoul, yeah, especially when the air is so bad.